Hey, it's Infinite Jeff, page 303, 303, 303. Let's go. The Falcon Black of the Library Knight in an orange mohawk and merry widow with tacky Amalfo pumps and nothing else. Time spread him and entered him roughly and had its way and left him again in the form of endless gushing liquid shit that he could not flush enough to keep up with. He spent the longest morbid time trying to fathom whence all the shit came from when he was ingesting nothing at all but Codenex Plus. Then at some point he realized time had become the shit itself. Poor Tony had become an hourglass. Time moved through him now. He ceased to exist apart from its jagged-edged flow. He now weighed more like 45 kilograms. His legs were the size his comely arms had been before withdrawal. He was haunted by the word Zuckung, a foreign and possibly Yiddish word he did not recall ever before hearing. The word kept echoing in quick-step cadence through his head without meaning anything. He'd naively assumed that going mad meant you were not aware of going mad. He'd naively pictured madmen as forever laughing. He kept seeing his sonless father again, removing the training wheels, looking at his pager, wearing a green gown and mask, pouring iced tea into a pebbled glass, tearing his sports shirt in filial woe, grabbing his shoulder, sinking to his knees, stiffening in a bronze casket, being lowered under the snow at Mount Auburn Cemetery, through dark glasses from a distance. Chilled to the Zuckung, when, then, even the funds... Excuse me. When, then, even the funds for the codeine syrup were exhausted, he still sat on the toilet of the rear stall of the AFL loo, surrounded by previously comforting hung habiliments? Habiliments? I know I've seen that one. Habiliment. Clothing. Habiliments. Where was I? Previously comforting hung habiliments and fashion magazine photographs he'd fastened to the wall with tape cadged on the way in from the reference desk. Sat for almost a whole nother night and day because he had no faith that he could stem the flow of diarrhea long enough to make it anywhere, if anywhere to go presented itself, in his only pair of gender-appropriate slacks. During hours of lit operation, the men's room was full of old men who wore identical brown loafers and spoke Slavic and whose rapid-fire flatulence smelled of cabbage. Towards the end of the day of the second syrupless afternoon, the day of the seizure, poor Tony Kraus began to withdraw from the cough syrups, alcohol, and codeine and dimethylated morphine now, as well as from the original heroin, yielding a set of sensations for which not even his recent experience had prepared him, the alcohol withdrawal especially. And when the true DT-type big-budget visuals commenced, when the first glossy and minutely hirsute big army ant crawled up his arm and refused, ghost-like, to be brushed away or hammered dead, poor Tony threw his hygienic pride into Time's porcelain maw and pulled up his slacks, mortifyingly wrinkled from 10 days puddled around his ankles, 10-plus days, made what slight cosmetic repairs he could, donned his tacky hat with scotch-tape scarf of paper towels, and lit out in last-ditch desperation for Cambridge's Inman Square, the sinister and duplicitous Antioni brothers, their glass entertainment N Notions fronted operations center he'd long ago vowed. And we'll have to find out what he long ago vowed tomorrow, or whenever you listen to this next. The next installment of Infinite Jeff. Where's my bookmark? Well, shoot, where's my bookmark? Well, I guess I'll have to find that. I'll use that as a bookmark. But it's not my original bookmark. It's not fair. Hear me. Anyway. Yeah, good night.